Wanted. 16 people willing or at least able to put their lives on hold for a solid month and move 100 miles away, where their days will be spent in a courtroom and their nights will be spent stuck in a mid-priced hotel. Any takers? Because amazingly, it took less than 2 days to find those people. 12 jurors and 4 alternates in the long-awaited murder trial of that guy, Richard Allen, in Indiana, and the opening statements are set for this Friday. Richard Allen is accused of killing 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German near an abandoned railway bridge in Delphi, Indiana, more than 7.5 years ago. But 2 bombshells were dropped by the defense before the opening statements even get underway. One of Allen's attorneys revealed that hair was found clutched in the hand of Abby Williams when they found her body. We'd never heard that before. And bombshell number 2, the hair did not belong to Richard Allen. How's that for reasonable doubt? On the other side, of course, are jailhouse phone calls to his wife where Allen allegedly admits over and over to killing the girls and, quote, incriminating statements to both inmates and guards, end quote. All of that during his time in lockup. But the defense says that Allen said all of those things under duress and in a state of psychosis. And remember those composite sketches that the police put out during the 5 long years they were looking for a suspect? The sketches bear little resemblance to Richard Allen, and the state now wants those barred from the trial. Hearing for that is set for on Thursday. But I want to bring in Russ McQuaid, a reporter with NewsNation affiliate Fox 59 in Indianapolis. Great to have you, Russ. Thanks for being on. So let's talk about that hair, because that it just feels like that it would have just taken the oxygen out of the courtroom. Did it? And what does it mean?
Well, for so many of us that have covered this case, not only for 7.5 years, but the 2 years going back to this month in 2022 when Richard Allen was put under arrest. And right away, we had difficulty getting answers about the search warrant, about the probable cause, even his whereabouts as he was moved from jail to jail in secret without lawyer representation. This is why when we attended the jury selection the last 2 days, it's very important not only to see what the jurors say when they're questioned, can you be fair and impartial, but you also have to listen to what the attorneys say, because through their questions, you start to get a lead on where they're going with their strategy and their case. And it was on the second day, today, not the first day, when Andrew Baldwin, one of the defense attorneys, as he is trotting out several of the aspects of the state's case, which he says won't hold water, and he said, yes, there was hair discovered in Abby's hands, and that hair did not belong to Richard Allen. You look at the various photographs of Richard Allen. Of course, the most recent photographs or most early photographs we have were 2022, not 2017. Yeah. If you look at Richard Allen, he's a bald-headed man with close-cropped hair. So, and there's always been speculation.
Well, with a beard, though, you know.
Well, and he did.
I want to ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because there's some other stuff that really sort of jumps out. In 2022, Libby's grandma said in an interview that the police told her there was DNA in the case. Just days after the actual murder itself in 2017, the sheriff told your station that they had DNA evidence, and then law enforcement later asked to have that information pulled from the website. Does that start to square with this bombshell today?
I was told that was DNA of a state trooper, assuming it was a state trooper that was down there investigating the crime scene. I was told that personally within the first few days of the investigation. Then that information sort of went away. It's like a lot of things in this case where they pop up and then suddenly they don't seem to hold water, as you had previously mentioned. Now we have a hearing on Thursday morning where the prosecution wants to quash the sketches, which came from a state police artist taking the description of witnesses on the bridge of people they allegedly saw there that day, that as recently as this last July, the lead state police trooper verified and vouched for those sketches in open court. And now, 2 months later, the state wants to pull those from evidence because they say they don't look like Richard Allen. They were only investigative tools that we were using along the way. And if the defense is successful in showing these to the jurors, it will just confuse them because they don't look like Richard Allen.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.